John, second place for Jimmy White. Jim, are you a little surprised the Honda is this quick this soon?
Not really. The Honda isn't really as good a bike as the Suzuki, and Clem Research has really got my Suzuki running well. It's got a real good motor in it.
One more race to go, the ATV4s. Here is number 46, Jeff Watts. He finished third in the first moto with 36 points. He's ready to roll. He runs against 31, Jimmy White. White finished second. He has 38 points from the first moto. And, of course, Macon, Georgia's Donnie Banks sits on his Honda, number D4. He's ready to run as well. He has 41 points. Also, by the way, Donnie Banks is the oldest competitor in this field at age 28. The ATV4s are now at the gate and ready to run.
And it was that number 4 Honda that won the very first moto, so he has more points than anyone else. He's the guy to catch. Now, just as with the two-wheelers, you don't really want to try to anticipate that gate. And they really everybody has their own little trick. They start at the flag card, or you see him engine forward here, and it looks like a good start by most of the competitors as the herd heads down into the starting turn. The turn they only see one deep break, and there's a rider sideways. That impedes the progress of some, but it looks like everybody gets through safely.
Jimmy White came off the line fastest and was running well down into the first turn. Now they've begun to string out just a bit. Everybody seems to be in good position.
Jimmy White with about a 3 ATV 4-length lead. Oh, and we've got a tangle there, Paul. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 riders involved.
Real traffic jam. Olmstead, William Pepper, Richard Worley, and Andrew Bach all tangle up there. Now they have to pull apart and get back into the chase. We go back to the lead.
And that is 31W Jimmy White, followed by Marty Hart on the number 17 machine, number 8 Eddie Sanders, 11F Sean Bentley. Now Donnie Banks did not get that good a start on his D4 Honda that won the first moto. He's going to have to catch up if he hopes to assure himself of an overall victory.
Marty Hart and Jimmy White battle. Here come the rest of the field through. And look at how much they have to fight those machines. It's terribly rough down here. It's really dried out. And to throw one of these machines around takes a lot of spirit out of anybody. They really have to fight. As we watch Jimmy White leading Marty Hart. Now, Hart was right up on White's tail for a moment, but he's dropped back now, and Jimmy White continues his lead down the freeway.
You know, the terrain here at Carlsbad is starting to look kind of like the surface of the moon. This is the same racetrack in name only that these guys contested on earlier. The 125 pros in their final moto, they really dried it up and chewed it up. If I was one of these riders now, Paul, I think I'd take up an extra notch in the old kidney belt. They're really going to be tired when this one's over.
You know, Steve, all racetracks change throughout the day, everywhere from the Indianapolis 500 down to a little fifth of a mile track. But a motocross circuit changes more than anything else because they, as they pass over it, alter the contour of the circuit and change what it does to it.
Plus, you have the evaporation. If the sun's out, if it's cloud covered, you got to try to gauge all of that.
We look back now to 6th place as Ron Beebe comes over in 6th. He's being chased by Rodney Fowler on 14F.
And still struggling back in the 5th position is Donnie Banks. He proves what we said earlier. The start in motocross competition, be it 2 or 4 wheels, can be everything. You see Banks 5th. Ahead of him is Jimmy White. Leading the pack, Marty Hart, Eddie Sanders, and Sean Bentley. Stay with us for the conclusion of the ATV4s.
We're back at Carlsbad for the ATV4s. Still, it is Jimmy White out in front. Marty Hart second. Sean Finley is now up in third. Donnie Banks running fourth. And Rodney Fowler is running fifth. We're watching the fight for the lead. 31W, that is Jimmy White. He's being chased by Marty Hart, and Hart's doing everything he can to get past on what, for these four-wheelers, is a very narrow circuit.
That bright yellow machine, that is the Suzuki of Jimmy White, and the machine just behind him, that's one of the Hondas we talked so much about. And look at that Honda fly. I'll tell you, Marty Hart is a strong guy. He just muscles his way by and takes the lead. Possibly Jimmy White having a shifting problem or something there, Paul. It looked like he hesitated. But look at him fly now, literally fly.
Jimmy White back rolling again, but that little hesitation gave it away to Marty Hart, who is now the leader.
And Marty has already seen that white flag signifying one more lap. That had to be a nice sight for him, especially when it feels like your arms are going to fall out of the socket. You know, you go to any kind of racing, you explore the pits, and there's always a drastic comparison between the factory sponsor to the corporate sponsored racer. I don't care if it's motorcycle or car, and kind of the have-nots, the guys that are working hard, trying to get the big deals. And it's no different different here.
You know, Steve, back here in the pit area at Carlsbad is a reflection of what we see out on the circuit. On one hand, we have the big teams, big money support, factory teams, box vans with plenty of equipment, plenty of spares, plenty of parts to get the job done. On board, you'll have 110-volt electricity, plenty of storage, all the tools you need, literally a mini machine shop. And then, just like on the track, there is the dedicated privateer. His transport vehicle is half-inch plywood, some angle iron, a van to sleep in, but the dedication is just as strong and just as certain.
I could not agree more. And so often you see that underdog get in the winner's circle. Here is Marty Hart going for the win on his Honda ATV 4. Honda's winning both of the motos. Donnie Banks the first one, and now Marty Hart. There it is. The checkered flag is out for Marty Hart. But still, there's a race for second place. 31W Jimmy White and 11F Sean Finley. It is going to be Jimmy White picking up second. Finley hangs on for third.
So Marty Hart takes the victory in this, the second moto, followed by White, Finley, Banks, and Fowler. And the scoring as a result of two motos now shows Jimmy White as the winner overall, edging out Donnie Banks by just a single point. Steve is now with Jimmy White.
Well, the quick new Hondas threw everything they had at Jimmy White winning both motos, but it was your consistency that won it for you today. 2 strong seconds, number 1 overall.
Yeah, I felt good out there. I haven't really ridden this four-wheeler that much on the rough track yet, and it really works well. I've been racing three-wheelers for the last 4 or 5 years.
National champion, as I recall.
Many times, yes.
What's the difference in riding? What did you have to learn to do different?
Not sit on the side as much, not slide it as much, ride it more like a motorcycle, basically.
You told me earlier after the first moto that the pressure really was on them to try to repeat in first. You knew what you were talking about.
Yeah, I've raced motocross quite a bit, and I knew a second place was as good as the first place. And after the first couple laps, I started slowing down a little bit because I seen that Donnie Banks was a ways back, and I didn't want to get tangled up with Marty.
Looked to me like you might have missed a shift going under the bridge.
I killed it.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, I felt like a rookie.
Okay, thanks very much, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, Jimmy White, he won it all in the four-wheelers. Now let's go to Paul Page with the winner of the second moto.
So El Cajon's Marty Hart wins that second moto. You were 8th in the first moto. What changes?
Starts. You got to get a good start here because the track's really narrow. It's more for bikes, and start plays a big part.
It was a whale of a fight there for a while.
Oh, yeah, we had a great battle. It was a lot of fun. I like battling with him. He's really controllable, and you can really go tire to tire the whole race and don't worry about him bailing or anything. He's really pretty smooth. But I just had a good time and had fun.
Suddenly, though, it seemed like you dropped back.
Pardon?
You dropped back suddenly, though.
On him?
Right.
Well, I just, played him as I had to win, basically. I mean, I knew sooner or later he was going to make a mistake if I just kept pushing him tire to tire the whole race. He had to make a mistake because he couldn't handle the pressure, I don't think.
Well, the Honda's looking good. Congratulations, Marty.
Thank you.
Take care.
So the Dodge Truck CMC Golden State Nationals is history. Our thanks to CMC President Stu Peters and all the competitors today. For Paul Page, I'm Steve Evans. So long from Carlsbad.
The executive producer for American Sports Cavalcade is Harvey M. Palish. Produced and directed by John B. Mullen. Promotional consideration provided